Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It's Thursday, February 8th. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video on censorship. I mean, it's true. It really is. That it's their sandbox, and the way to censor you is to not allow your comments to come through, or not to allow certain videos through as well. And it could be, one of two things. Either AI spots it, or there's somebody that doesn't like what your comment was or what your video was, and clicks on a button to say that it's not good. But hey. Alright, so what are we going to talk about today? Today we're going to talk about how you need to laugh. You need to enjoy life. Life is too short, folks. You only have a limited amount of time on this earth. And you can go one of two ways. You can have a good time, or it can be the most miserable time. So stay tuned. One of the ways that I start my day in the morning, because I normally get up with the dogs, 5 after 4, and I don't usually start recording a video until around 4:30, 5 o'clock at the earliest. But I like watching some of the older comedians that nothing is safe, and you can either be shocked or laugh your ass off. All right. You older guys and gals will side with me on everything should be touchable. Your comedians of today aren't really comedians, because they don't dare say anything for fear they might upset somebody. And it's sad, because most of the jokes and stuff today aren't really that funny. And your really good comedians can't. The ones that survive, they have to use swear words like every second or third word. But they can't pick on anybody. I'm going to leave in the description a link to a video. It's dry bar humor, but I think it's James Gregory, but he's got an hour special that you guys need to watch if you want a good laugh in the morning. He's one of the people that I start my day off with. He's that uncle or aunt that you have that's a great storyteller, and the way he has the look in his eyes and the face and the reaction, and he deals with everyday stuff. He talks about the spotted owl up in the great Northeast, and how they can't harvest timber or do anything to all that land over an owl. And he's like, folks, it's an owl. Who cares? And then a construction going on, and it's $180 million project, and they get a third of the way through, and a group comes out and says that they have spotted a kangaroo rat that is endangered, and they need to stop all construction. And he keeps going at the crowd, but it's a rat. It's a rodent. And he goes on to say, if a rat had run across, if a kangaroo rat had run across the stage in front of him, most people wouldn't be, oh, well, let's save that rodent, that rat. You'd be trying to kill it. But he takes and twists things into a funny light. And he has a way of doing that even if you're at the brunt end of the joke, you're going to still laugh. All right? And I'm going to miss, because we're losing a lot more and more every time we turn around, because they're all getting up in years. And the younger generation is just so worried about offending somebody. You can make fun of by doing it in a certain way that even the people that you're making fun of are going to laugh and enjoy your show. You know, it's like eating food these days. You know, I'm still a steak and potato guy. I love my butter. I love my salt, pepper. I like as much fat in my steak as I possibly can have. Because if the good Lord had told me that if you eat healthy and jog, I'll let you live till you're 80. But if you're going to eat the way you're going to do it, you're only going to live till 75. I'd take the 75. Because I'd enjoy every meal that I have instead of eating cardboard or lettuce. See, lettuce is not a dinner. Salad is not a dinner, folks. A salad is an entree, an appetizer that you have with not the light dressing. You take the full Italian dressing, shake it up, and you pour it all over your salad. And that just is your appetizer to the meal that you're going to have. But people are calling it dinner. I couldn't survive on just a salad. And you get worried about what you eat. You know, I know some vegetarians that, you know, they can't help but point out that they're a vegetarian to you. So what? And I don't. I'm not. I enjoy meat. I enjoy pork. I enjoy beef. Venison. Just about any kind of meat there is out there. The best kind is homegrown. Knowing that there's no chemicals, no additives, no nothing in it. What I'm getting is what I'm feeding my cows. And a lot of times my pork comes from a neighbor up the road that raises them. And we harvest our own venison deer. And it's just like butter, you know. People think that good old is salted butter on it that is bad for you. It's not bad for you. You know, everybody's eating that tastes like real butter. Butter. See, the problem is we have turned into a generation that's behind us and back, a generational of wusses that I would deem girls. Because everything that they do and this and that is all health and, oh, I can't do that, it's not good for me. Enough. Where are the real men like me? Amos, Jason, where are the young guys that are real men? I mean, it used to be when I grew up, you were a man at 18. You could go to war at 18 and shoot people and get shot at. And I've always thought it's asinine to have the drinking age at 21, but you can go get shot at when you're 18. If we're going to allow a kid, a man at 18 to go to war, then he should be able to buy cigarettes and have a drink at the bar, buy his own liquor. If you got a problem with that, and you still think 21 should be the cutoff, then 21 should be the cutoff of how old you have to be before you can enlist. Each generation has it easier than the prior generation. And, my generation, the generations before me, had a harder time than I have had. Most of the family that I had, prior to me, if you go back a few generations, they were either farmers or they were carpenters. My great-grandfather, Gilman, he was a carpenter. I mean, and when I say carpenter, I don't mean building houses in this. I mean, I'm talking furniture. I mean, I've still got a gun cabinet that he had done, and it's got like walnut inlay, and he carved out the walnuts on the cabinet itself. And he would build roll top desks for the people in town. And, when they went through the Depression, a lot of people lost everything, and just trying to find something to eat proved to be a hardship. But yet, the kids today want us to believe that they're living in a hardship. What hardship do you have? Really? I mean, if you're living on this earth, there should be no reason why you can't have something to eat. There's plenty of jobs you could get, to pay for your food, find a place to live, even if you have to go in with a few guys together to pay the rent on a house, maybe, because the rent is so high in your area. But if you split it 3 ways, it's not as bad, is it? So you have to just be creative. But nobody wants to be creative. Where are the real men of your generation that's in their 20s? I know you're out there, but you're a select few. So like in a prior video that I had, it was called Stinkin' Funny. I mean, you have to, folks, you need to learn to laugh. Gloom and doom all the time and not being happy See, not being happy is a state of mind. It's not a reality. I know people that no matter what goes on in their lives, they're not happy. There's not anything on God's green earth that's going to make them happy. They just want to be that pain in the ass, complaining all the time about everything and everybody. And that's gotta suck, you know? I've got a neighbor up the road. His name is Dick. And he's a retired trooper out of Massachusetts. But as he's gotten older, he's lived here for quite a few years. I was here before he was, but he moved in shortly after. So he's been here 30 plus years. And he has a way of embellishing his stories, you know. And you know, just by listening to the story, that it's not true. But he's one of those, you know, cranky old men that he's not happy with what anybody is doing. People are doing it wrong. And he's constantly threatening to sue people. And he's a turnoff to a lot of people, where they don't even want him around. And for the first couple of years that I knew Dick, I just let him ramble on. And the thing is I was around him enough so that I know that the story he told me a year ago has now gotten bigger and bigger. And what I did, because I mean, people were afraid to approach him because they didn't want any problems. But the day Dick and I got along the best was when I called him on it. I said, listen, you old miserable F. You can't keep your story straight. You keep telling stories that are bigger than bigger. Who the hell do you think you are? You know, for most people that would have been shocking, right? Because they shut him up for a minute. And then he burst out laughing. And it was a deep down, you could hear it coming, and he had tears coming down from his eyes, just laughing. And he told me, he says, Eric, in the 67 years that I've been on this earth, you are the first one to call me out. And you know, he and I have been best of friends since. And he doesn't embellish with me because I'll call him out and make him laugh again. But he tells stories about, you know, his life in the military, of how he saved platoons of men. And I was talking to his son one day, and his son told me, he said, Eric, you can't take him by what he says. He tends to make things bigger than they actually were, if you know what I mean. And he said that he tells it so many times to so many people, he even starts to believe that what he's telling is truthful. You have to learn to laugh at others, call people out, laugh at some of the antics that you have done in the past, and understand, you know, Being offended is a state of mind. It's not a from inside. It's something that you're being told that people that are obese cannot be made fun of. Why? Why? Well, a person in a wheelchair, you can't make fun of them. Why? I know comedians that have had people in wheelchairs in their audience, and he made fun of the people that were in their wheelchairs, and he had them rolling, and a group caught wind of him. He's a younger comedian, and they tried to cancel him. And I read some of the comments that came in off that video that he did, and there were so many people that were in wheelchairs that had seen that special that had laughed so hard at his jokes about people in wheelchairs. And this is the people that are in wheelchairs. The thing is you don't laugh at, you laugh with. If you know what I'm saying. It's never good to make fun of somebody and have them be the joke, and it's not funny to them, okay? That's not a joke. But if you can get them to laugh with you so that both of you are laughing about certain topics, then to me it's acceptable. So I'm going to start wrapping this up for a Thursday morning. I'm going to leave a link, like I said, for, I think it's James Gregory. And if you don't laugh, there's something wrong with you. You got two choices in life. One is to be happy and outgoing, and the other is to be miserable all the time. It's a choice. You get to choose. You know. And I think you'll understand more about what I mean when you listen to him and how he tells stories and jokes. So on that note, guys, it's great to be alive. Today is Thursday. Got one more day until the weekend, right? And we'll do part 2 today on the earthquake machine, the post hole digger. We've got good compression, so we're going to go check for fire. I want to redo that carburetor. And Jason, great points. New primer bulb. I'll see what the gaskets look like. May need new diaphragm gasket. We'll see when we get into it, and we'll do it together. All right, guys. We'll catch you later.